But Rhea, I would even love your opinion because it's about people you would be interested
Even
in.
your opinion, Rhea.
No,
Even
thank you. I appreciate that. Not that that was said with a backhand. Boom.
No, Rhea, in all sincerity, I think you would really resonate with a prissy bitch.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't think that I was ever a prissy bitch. I'm more of a sassy bitch.
well, again, that
That's
makes more
so
sense for
true.
you. And welcome back, everybody, to another exciting Emmy-filled edition of the TV show. TV's biggest night that nobody cares about. I'm Jen Black, joined as always by the person everyone cares about, Rhea Hughes, and the person that presumably some people care about, Angelo. Hey, guys. Uh, so let's start with the Emmys. The Emmys were this past Sunday, and the reviews were not spectacular on the Emmys. Did you guys watch them, Rhea? I know you have a lot going on.
Well, so here's the biggest problem with why the Emmys have trouble. They need to move it to a different night because it's football. We are in
Oh,
football season
right.
and it's
Right.
football. So I watched it the next day.
Yeah, and that's probably the
Me
way
too.
most people did it. Angelo, a show that we really liked, The Studio, won big. And of course, the second that something good happens for somebody, backlash must happen immediately. And people were saying, well, number one, isn't it great that a comedy actually won instead of The Bear, which is a drama that has some funny elements? But number two, the only reason why it won is because the Hollywood is navel gazing. They like shows about themselves. Is that, in your opinion, why it got such a good response, or was it deserving of all those awards?
I am insanely upset that the bear was ignored. See, now what I just illustrated there was actual humor, something that they don't have on the bear. So the best thing that happened in the whole Emmys is the bear got shut out. Finally, the TV industry acknowledged that the show is a steaming pile now, although it was amazing the first 2 years. All right. Here's the deal. All right. There was a show funnier than the studio, only one that I saw, but it was so weird. No one else would have thought it was. That was The Rehearsal with Nathan Fielder.
Yeah.
All right. But that aside, and including the fact that the studio, I think it was the second episode, had a terrible episode. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
It
agreed.
won because it was really funny. Yeah, it poked fun at the industry and it did a lot of different styles. It had the walk and talk like Aaron Sorkin and Westwood. Every episode was an homage to a style of filming that was done. It was brilliant. Do you understand? It was often done in one take. It was compelling. And frankly, right now, Seth Rogen, between that and the second season of Platonic, he's on the roll of his career. It
Angela,
deserved it. It
I,
deserved all of it.
I would like to yell at my high school health teacher who told me that pot makes you not productive because Seth Rogen is a
It's a
walking
lie. It's a
contradiction.
lie.
It's a lie. Pot can make you do amazing things, apparently. Rhea, I want to ask you about Nate Bargatze. Nate,
I just wanted to
oh,
say one quick thing on the studio.
sure.
The studio, yeah, absolutely deserved everything. I don't think it's as much navel gazing because I think the people poked the most fun at, which are producers and directors, probably didn't want it to win because it really went after them. Basically said they're morons.
Right.
So I did find that interesting that they got it in that respect.
As a producer, Rhea, I have to agree that. So I want to talk about Nate Bargatze. I think we've talked about, my old opening act who went on to do some stuff without me, apparently. He very famously, at least online famously, decided not to rehearse for the Emmys this year. He had a previously booked date in Denver that he did, and apparently the Emmys people not too thrilled about this, which I don't know what you get paid for the Emmy, but I can guarantee you Bargatze made a lot more selling out an arena in Denver than whatever paycheck he got from the Emmy. So I understand financially why he would do that. But a lot of people are saying, hey, his performance was stuttering and lackluster, and maybe the lack of rehearsal was a part of that. Do you agree that it wasn't a great performance, and do you think he should have rehearsed?
As someone who Angelo knows, I over prep for everything.
Yeah.
I am offended that he didn't rehearse for it. And I am a huge Nate Bargatze fan. I've seen him. I've seen every one of his specials on Netflix. But to me, that's a different kind of animal. And once you accept it, you've got to move the date. I mean, that's you've accepted something. Now, here's what I will say is I don't know if Nate Bargatze was the best guy to pick to be a host of that show. Nate Bargatze is he's a very chill guy. He pauses a lot. And I don't know if that works on a fast paced show like that. It works for his shows because he'll pause and he'll look and he'll go, and the funny thing's coming. I did love the TV skit, even though they basically stole it as his George Washington skit on SNL.
Right.
I thought I mean, when the Asian guy says, and they're going to have Asian shows, you said streaming, and the
Yeah.
CBS line, I thought that was very funny, but I kind of knew what the skit was because I've seen it before. I don't know that his comedy related to that kind of show.
Angelo, you're a prepper. I've seen
Um,
your prep. You were
let me,
crazy about it.
I am thrilled because this doesn't happen too often on this podcast. I couldn't agree less with Rhea. All right.
Really?
First of all, there's a rumor. Can you settle a rumor? There's a rumor that when Bargatze opened for you, it was on one of your ship shows, and that the only reason his career took off is he escaped on a lifeboat.
It's true. He got in a dinghy in a state.
Now, here's the thing, all right? And when you hire Nate, you're going to get exactly what you got. He is not an insult comic. So all the stuff that you would see like Ricky Gervais
Yeah.
do, none of that is available to him. He's the guy who basically makes fun of himself the most, right?
Yep.
And I thought all of it was great. I was, no one was uncomfortable the whole time. He moved it along very nicely. And the whole basis of it was the ploy that everybody that went over, they were going to dock money. I thought that was hilarious because people literally were rushing, thinking that it was legit. And you knew at the end he was going to give him a big check. And he gave him 250 grand,
No,
$250,000
I
to the.
disagree with you. These people, some of those people, Angela, are winning an award that they may never win again. And they were so petrified to go over
Oh,
that time limit. No, it was stupid. And it was
screw them.
frankly,
Yeah.
it was
How
wrong.
many names do I have to hear? I'm
it was
tired of all the friggin' names.
it was 100% wrong.
You're 100%. Jay?
No, I agree with Rhea. I want to hear this.
No, you don't.
Sorry.
You resent Bargatze because he became a big sensation. That's all it is.
Those two things are mutually exclusive, Angela.
Yes.
I can resent Bargatze and dislike the fact. Listen, what
Oh.
else are we watching an award show for except to see real human moments where yeah, a lot of times they're just talking about the names of their agent, but every once in a while you get an amazing speech or a weird speech or a
And we
crazy
did get an
speech.
amazing one. Whoever the woman was who pissed off everybody else, she opened with "Go Birds."
Hannah
true.
Einberger. Right, Hannah Einberger. Frankly, I thought that was stupid. Not the good birth part.
Yeah.
All the rest of it, I thought was stupid. I don't need her views on Palestine. What do I need
No.
that for? Who is she? She's a stand-up comic who works on hacks.
Yeah,
and
but
now I got to worry about her political views. I don't need any of that.
You see,
Nate was great. You hold people to such high standards.
See, I think that you let the people talk about politics because you get crazy moments like Marlon
no.
Brando sending an American Indian or a Native American in to accept the award.
No.
And she wasn't Native American, by the way.
Yeah.
She wasn't.
We're still talking about it 50 years later. I like that.
I didn't know she was.
Oh, Ange, it was a huge scandal
I
like
didn't
years
even
later.
know. I
Yeah.
saw that live. I was even a nerd when I was in my teens.
Shocking.
All right, I want to talk a little bit about one last thing with the Emmy, which was Noah Wyle won for The Pit. And that was a gap because the last time he was nominated for an Emmy, he didn't win, but the last time he was nominated was 26 years ago
Wow.
for ER. And I personally think those long gaps are kind of harder to maintain than the streaks because it means you have to be at the very pinnacle of your game for a stretch. Go fallow for 30 years. and then somehow get back to the pinnacle. That's harder than just staying there. Like Julia Louis-Dreyfus has more nominations and wins than any other actress, but she's always been up there. So what I did was I put together a little list of the 5 people who have the longest gaps. Noah Wyle is the longest, 26 years. Next longest is a guy that you know, Angelo, Joey Pantaleone.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who went 22 years between nominations. The first one
Okay.
he got was for The Sopranos back in the day.
and do you remember we had him in studio once?
Yes, we did. It's amazing how we had so many of these people in our studio, and we were a sports show. They had nothing to do with it. We really had a broader idea of what a show was back in those days.
Jay, he told the greatest story because he was in The Fugitive.
Yeah.
They thought it was going to be a terrible movie. And the first night of shooting, Tommy Lee Jones put his arm around Joey, said, let's just go out and get drunk. This is going to be a crap movie.
Oh, I wish I remembered stuff the way you do, Rhea. That's awesome. I have something to say about Noah Wyle, Jay. I saw the first, I think he's amazing. I thought he was great in ER, and I think he's really good in The Pit based on one episode I watched, and I shut it down because it shows you on the operating
Yeah,
table
it's a little much.
open bodies. And I can't, I'm awful with that. But based on all the people and what they're saying about it, I announced to my wife last night, I'm going to try The Pit again. I'm going to see if I can get another Succession. And
Okay.
maybe I watch it the second time and realize I can get past the bloody parts. This is good.
I
And
can't do hospital shows. That's the same
yeah,
reason, Ange. I struggle with them.
no,
No,
really? Okay,
no.
because I love how Doc right now is good too. Anyway,
Yeah,
but I will tell you that I'm going to give it another shot because he's a great actor, and it's a really good story that all these years later, in the same basic setting, a
yeah.
hospital, he became famous again. It's pretty cool.
All right, couple others. John Turturro has a
Oh,
19-year gap. He got one in the early 2000s for playing Monk's brother, and then he got another one.
I love that show, Monk, by the
I
way.
loved
I
it
was
too.
a
It was a
big
great
fan.
show. And then he won another one for The Night Before on HBO
Yeah.
a couple of years ago. Next up, Kathy Bates, 15 years. She
Wow.
got one for American Horror Story in the mid 2000s and just got another nomination for Matlock.
Matlock.
And then
He was
finally,
very good in Matlock.
Yep.
special mention, Judd Hirsch has the longest
Oh.
gap ever because he hasn't been nominated again. He got 3 nominations right in a row for Taxi in the early 80s, has
Mhm.
been in 10 trillion TV shows since then, has
Wow.
not been nominated
Wow.
again, but is still active. So every time you look this up, if I feel so bad for Judd Hirsch, they give you all the ones that
Yeah.
have been, and then, oh, by the way, Judd Hirsch never got nominated again after the early 80s. I don't know why people dislike him, but
I like him. I think
yeah.
he's good in everything he does. I think he's fantastic.
Been 40 some years. All right. So speaking of somebody that we like, Judd Hirsch, but somebody that we hate, Angelo Cataldi,
Yeah.
is David Zaslav.
Mm.
And I'm going to bring up the first part of this, and we'll talk about the second part. First part is he was giving an interview, and he said something that incensed me. That I ran through a wall like a Looney Tune and left an outline of myself. I was so angry. He said, I think we're leaving money on the table with HBO Max. We should probably be charging more for HBO. Now, just number one, the the pure hubris of an executive giving an interview and saying we're not charging enough for our product that everybody already thinks we're charging too much for is beyond me. Anyway, it came out this week that Larry Ellison just surpassed Elon Musk as the world's richest man. His family bought controlling interest in Paramount. And the word is that he is now looking to buy Warner Brothers whole
Yeah.
and
Wow.
merge it with Paramount. I would normally, Angelo, say that this is a terrible thing for the industry.
It's good.
But if it gets rid of David Zaslav, are we okay with this?
Well, first of all, the comment that Zasloff made saying that they weren't charging enough for HBO Max, that's actually funnier than anything that was on season 4 of The Beer. I laughed louder right there than at any point. But let me say that, maybe we're looking at David Zasloff all wrong. right?
Oh yeah.
How about the value of consistency? Has there ever been a CEO who almost inevitably, every single time, did or said exactly the wrong thing
It's
and
true.
maintained his position? He's still in charge. So, yes, I hope they take him away because he just, it will be a better TV world the day that David Zaslav finally retires
Yeah.
because he is the worst person in American television. Can I say it any clearer? The worst. He just drains the life out of everything he touches.
Rhea,
So David, go to hell. Thank you.
Rhea, if they charge a penny more, I think I'm out on HBO Max. Are you with me on that or no?
I'm not actually subscribing right now because really the only one who kind of watches HBO Max is Clark. So when he wants to see something, I'll pop on it, and then I'm off of it.
Yeah.
So I don't watch a lot of stuff on HBO. They just don't have a lot of stuff that's interests me.
Yeah, the only thing we're watching right now is Peacemaker, which I would suggest you don't watch that with Clark Rhea, as there is lots of nudity in Peacemaker. And
Yes, no, thank you.
as much as I
Wait,
like
what was that
nudity,
again, Jay? I want to write that one down.
it's a comic book show, Angelo. I don't think they.
We've
Oh,
lost Angelo.
Yeah.
animated nudity?
No, no, it's real life. It's live action, but it takes place in a comic book world. It's like Superman.
Oh,
Yeah, but there's
well,
lots of
there's a
nudity.
conflict for me.
Yeah,
Nudity, but in a comic world.
yeah, and much John Cena too. All right. So as much as we hate David Zaslav, Angelo, there's one person that
Wait a minute, Jay.
yeah.
I just reviewed that like a couple weeks ago. My son is watching that.
Yeah. Oh,
Is this
okay.
a problem?
Is that a problem?
Did I stop him?
No, I'm not going to be the one to tell you to do that. My son watches it. It's really good. It's James Gunn,
Okay.
so it's not exploitative. If you understand, like the nudity. It's not that it necessarily serves a purpose because
Oh, it's very classy nudity.
it's classy nudity. Exactly. There's an orgy scene or two, but it moves the story along. Man. It's a plot moving orgy.
That's good.
All right, so we hate David Zaslav, but there is an executive, Angela, that does the right thing every time, and we know
Yep.
who his name is. That is Steven Singer, our sponsor. Tell me about it.
This is why, even when I argue with Rhea, and I'm about to argue with her again in a minute, I'm warning you now, but Rhea prepares everything she does from a really nice meal to her show to this podcast. And
Yes.
Rhea goes on Steven Singer's a website. And Rhea, what's Steven got cooking right now?
He's got a cool. So I know a lot of people are massive Wicked fans because it was a huge hit, and they have the sequel coming out, which is Wicked for Good. So Steven did the roses. Andrew, you know that we know how popular
The
Steven
roses are
Singer's
great.
gold dip roses are.
Yep.
Well, they have the gold dip roses for Glenda and Jay. How do you say the other name?
Alphabet.
Elphaba. So you can get them in the green and I guess it's the purple, $99 each. So if you have a Wicked fan in your family, you can get them both. But they're actually kind of, I don't know if you can see it. They're really
Oh,
beautiful.
They're only
yeah.
$99
Oh,
each.
wow.
Yeah,
The green
yeah,
one's amazing.
All
yeah,
right,
isn't it?
Oh,
I'm getting both. I'm going to get one for my oldest and one for my youngest. They both love Wicked. We're going to the movies. Done. I'm buying it
Yeah.
right after the show.
Jay,
That's awesome.
get it before you take them to the movie and present
Yes,
it to them.
that's
oh,
awesome.
good.
I'm
Oh,
in.
this is great. And let me just say, indicates Steven. He's always on the cutting edge. He's always coming up with new creative ideas, unlike the Eagles offense. And he's just and you gotta love a guy who's always a step ahead of everyone else. And that's why he's the best jeweler on Jewelers Row. It's the other corner of 8th and Walnut. I hate stevensinger.com.
Just go right to the website, or if you're on a podcast app, just scroll up. You'll see the link. Click on it. Get those Alphaba and Glinda things. Those are awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
All right, Rhea, what do you got for us this week?
So this is really interesting because I've been waiting for this. So there's a very popular older series on BritBox called the Inspector Lynley Mystery Series. I, it hadn't grabbed me. It was the original one went from 2001 to 2008, but they came out with a new one. They reimagined it. So basically, what Inspector Lynley is, it's this guy named Tommy Lynley, which doesn't sound like an aristocratic name, but he is. He's a police officer in a smaller County police station in England, but he came from the Met, which is the Metropolitan in London. That's the biggest police department in all of the country. So he comes to a smaller place, back actually home, and he's paired with a working class detective. She goes by Barbara Haver. She had the best line that I've heard in a TV show in a long time, because he's driving this vintage luxury car, and he's like, "Oh, I went to Oxford, and I'm the son of an earl. And what's your family into?" She goes, "My family's into iron and steel. My mom irons and my father steals." And I thought that was a really great line. But so it's the opposites attract. He's real rich. She comes from working class. 4 episodes, 90 minutes, which I love. The first one, they're investigating a murder on one of these small islands that just has like one house with a rich guy. They're kind of setting the stage. By the second episode, I really started to appreciate their characters together. They have a boss, who's a jerk, who doesn't have a boss who's a jerk. But the mystery in the second episode has an amazing twist to it, and I was really fascinated. So I'm two episodes in, and they're laying the groundwork for these two people to work together, and I like it so far. So it's called the Inspector Lynley Mystery Series. I would say it's a step above Cozy, but a step below like one of the real hard. I'm actually just started a serial murder one, British show, and it's definitely below that in terms of like gore and that kind of stuff. So I liked it.
I've said it before, Rhea. We got to investigate why there are so many murders per capita in Britain. It's got it like every third person in England is a murderer. It seems like just
It's a
going by.
small island. They're a little salty.
Yeah. Angelo, what do you got for us this week?
I got a couple of things. First of all, I just want to. When I first watched Platonic on Apple Plus, I did it for my own selfish reasons. Because I had taken my grandsons and my son to LA, and we went on a studio tour, and we bumped into Seth Rogen. He was walking from, they had just been filming the first season. And I yelled out his name from the tour plus or whatever they call it. And he looked back, and it was an awkward moment. And I watched it for that. And frankly, it was okay. It wasn't great. I have never seen a show take the same thing in a second season and make it phenomenal. But they did. In fact, watch both seasons. You'll see an incredible contrast.
Sure.
Platonic now, season 2, is absolutely hilarious. Great. In fact, it may challenge the studio as the funniest show for next year's Emmys. That's one. Now, here's where Rhea and I are going to have a problem. Oh, Rhea hates it. I didn't do this very often on the radio, but I'm going to do it now. I watched the show. I've watched 4 episodes now, and I can't make up my mind. I'm right on the fence.
Okay.
Rhea?
What?
Rhea used to say, get an opinion.
Yes, that's what you always told me. I had to have an opinion, so yes. I have opinions.
And now I can't. Rhea, this show is so weird. It's on Prime, and it's a project by Robin Wright, who's great. And she is she's great in the show, and she directed 3 of the 6 episodes. So she's really great. But she is this real prissy, nasty, rich woman, and the girlfriend is played by absolute gorgeous Olivia Cook. And let me just say, I don't know how you feel about making out on the air there, Jay, even though I know you wrote a couple of makeout scenes for yourself in some of your scripts. Yeah. But you'll never see more making out than Olivia Cook does with the son, Laurie Davidson. I'm just saying, it's just constant lip action. Right? But here's the thing.
You're 4 episodes in and you haven't made a decision?
I can't. Rhea, I don't know. My wife, Gail, is saying, no, it's really good. And I'm going, I don't know what to think. So if anybody out there is watching The Girlfriend, I need your guidance. I have to keep watching it. My wife is hooked on it. But Rhea, I would even love your opinion. Because it's about people you would be interested in.
Even your opinion, Rhea.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. Not that was said with a backhand. Boom.
No, Rhea, in all sincerity, I think you would really resonate with a prissy bitch.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't think that I was ever a prissy bitch. I'm more of a sassy bitch.
No, again, no, that makes
That's
more
so
sense for you.
true. Yeah, she
So I,
knows herself.
I am not prissy. But here, my whole thing is when I watch shows,
Mm,
if after two episodes they don't grab me, I'm usually gone. That's
yeah,
kind of my that's kind of my thing. I don't give stuff, one, if I really don't like something, I'll go, all right, I'll try. But two episodes, if I haven't made a decision, I'm out.
makes sense. I'm with you. But anyway, I need your guidance. Somebody out there, Jay, somebody out there, watch this and tell me if it's good, because I can't make up my mind.
You can click on the send us a text message link right in the app and let us know. We'd love to hear from
Please.
you. I don't have anything to review, but I did want to mention something that everybody should go check out, which is the great Alan Sepinwall, who, Angela, was he ever on your show back in the day?
No, but I've read his books. He's really good.
He's a great writer. He worked originally at the North Star Ledger, and he came up at the same time I did in the great golden age of TV blogging, where you would do episode recaps and get paid pretty good money to do
Mm.
so. And in a world where there was a lot of people doing them, Alan stood out as one of the best. He was eventually picked up by Rolling Stone and was made the TV critic there. And he's been there for the last 10 years. And as of this week, he has been let go by Rolling Stone.
Oh,
I don't understand how Rolling Stone can't have pay one of the top critics in the country. I don't know how they can't make the economics of that work, but I guess this is the world we're living in now. He is a
we're available, Jay, if you want to let Rolling Stone know.
I'll put the
Yeah.
word out. I'll put the word out that the TV show can jump right in there. But I wanted to plug his website. He's on a platform called Ghost, which is a more ethical version of Substack. It's where the writers get paid if you subscribe. He's at alansepinwall.ghost.io. We'll put that link in the ads there. If you want to continue reading his writing and support one of the greats, we should check him out. And it's
And
not
by the way, Ange, can I just mention, because you probably know this better than I do, the New York Star Ledger has always produced a lot of great people who write for it. I just
True.
know it from people that I followed in
True.
sports writing. Their sports department has always been terrific.
Yeah, it has. Moss Klein was one of the best beat reporters I've ever seen. And Jerry Eisenberg is still writing, Rhea, in his 90s. In his
Oh,
90s, he's still writing.
cool.
You're 100% right about that. And let me just say, first of all, Rolling Stone magazine, I have been a subscriber for a long time. And after Jan Wenner retired, it went so quickly downhill
yeah.
Wow.
that I canceled. And I'll just tell you, it's not the same publication. If you don't have the money for Alan Sepinwall, then you don't have a publication.
It's
The
fair.
greats, it's like firing Roger Ebert or Tom Shales. You can't. These are the best people in the business. You can't
100.
do it. All
It's
right. Anyway, let me review what we got. The studio won all those awards. You want to watch it? It's on Apple Plus. The rehearsal, which I told you is the only funniest show, that's on HBO Max. If you want to watch the whole Emmy episode and then agree with me that what's his name, Nate
Bargatze.
Bargatze was great, that's on Paramount Plus. The Pit, which we are going to try again, that's on HBO Max. The Inspector Lynley Mysteries is on BritBox. The Girlfriend, I'm not sure about, is on Amazon Prime. Platonic is on Apple Plus.
And that man right there is Angelo Cataldi. You can read his book loud at Amazon.com, AngeloCataldi.com, or hear him whisper it to you in dulcet tones on Audible.com. We're also joined this week, as always, by Rhea Hughes, that you can find her on YouTube at the WIP Morning Show, which is broadcast every single day.
And Jay, Angelo, I have rejoined social media on Instagram. So my Instagram name, I am Rhea Hughes 94 WIP. So give a follow. We're going to put clips of our show on it so we can, kind of introduce some of our shared audience to our TV show. So Rhea Hughes 94 WIP.
Go
Be
follow
careful,
her.
Rhea. Be careful, Rhea.
Now,
No
it's
strong political opinions.
Instagram's different. Instagram's
Okay.
different. It's more like pictures and videos and my dog.
And if we get real popular,
I
Rhea,
do love your dog. I saw one of him.
If it gets real popular, Rhea, we could start putting thirst traps of me on the thing too. I could do some boudoir shots just to get people interested. That's all.
Yeah, that'll do it.
If you want to see me live and in person, if you get this in the next 36 to 48 hours, you can see me at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. If you're in the Philly area, make the drive. Go hang out, spend the day at the shore, and then come see me perform Thursday night. Guys, we'll be back next week with another great episode. Thanks to Rhea, thanks to Angelo, thanks to Jared Clapper, our producer, and Steven Singer. See you guys next week.